Hello, thank you for joining me. It's me, Stephen Englander again. You can probably hear I'm a little bit wheezy because we've been off work. Well, I've been off work a couple of weeks because I've been a bit poorly. And I just want to thank everybody for all the chocolates and flowers and that guy that bought me a house. I thought it was really nice of you. I'm okay now. You know, I'm over the worst of it, and hope we'll have a good show tonight. But by the way, if you are ill, or you're likely to get ill, it's a horrible feeling, but it's an even worse feeling when you've got no money coming in. I was talking to someone about this the other day, and I'm saying, look, I'm not too bad in that respect, because even if I'm off work, I've got a full suite of staff looking after everything. But why don't you have a look at insuring yourself just for critical illness or something? I don't really know anybody. I mean, I will know people with some on my books, but don't just dismiss it, because it's bad enough being ill when you're ill, but having no money coming in as well. And this could be of use. It's a bit dearer than most insurance, but it's not that dear. And at the end of the day, business is about balancing out ups and downs, not just living on the highs and then, you know, free falling down the lows. Get insurance to balance things out. Well, that's all I've got to say on that. My next, the main feature we've got tonight is on why traditional investments are actually shit. So you didn't like it when I said that before, did you, Graham?
What?
Are you not even listening?
No, I didn't like what?
Honestly,
why didn't I like it?
Traditional investments are shit because houses and things.
Yeah, I live in a world where you buy a house, you're sorted. Yeah. That's it then. That's what you should be doing. This
is the thing that I was getting at. A lot of people, they aim to get a house, don't they? That's usually most people's goal, to invest in a house. But investing in a house, it's your own house, isn't it? So you live there. So my thoughts to buying a house is not as an investment, but to get a nice property that you want to live in, bring your family up, retire to, whatever. But you know, it's better than paying rent, because at the end of the period you sell the property and you get at least your rent back. So it's a better way of going for things. But as an investment, it's not really, because until you're quite old, you're not really going to be spending that money, and you take an awful lot of money out of your bank account to put it down as a deposit, and then things might not always go up as much as you hoped. It all depends when in the property boom and bust cycle that you actually sell anything. So as an investment, I don't think it's that great, Graham. And I know I've mentioned this before, but you know, it's you, so I've got to mention it a few times. If you buy property as an investment, you've still got that big deposit to put down. You've still got stamp duty, solicitors' fees. Sorry, solicitors, that was instinctive. You've still got all these extra fees, and then you've got to usually pay someone, collect the rent, keep maintenance, do everything else, and it's unlikely in real terms you'll get more than 5% return on that. Now, it's great, again, if you sell the property at the time of a boom cycle, and you can keep it for time while the property goes up. But remember to adjust for inflation when you do that. So 5% per annum return for an investment of, you know, even, I don't know what you get for £100,000, but assuming you're putting £200,000 into something, I think you can do better. I think there's a lot of people that have bought businesses, invested into businesses, and they've done quite well out of that. I mean, that guy we were talking to before, who's got a market stall somewhere in Wigan, selling, repairing phones, and that probably earns about 20 grand a year doing that. But he's also got a cafe that he never goes into, and various other little bitty businesses. So if you think about it, if he's taken from his cafe, that gives him 10,000 a year, and it's cost him 50,000 to buy, then you know that is a hell of a lot more than 5% a year. See the investment idea.
The way I'm trying to translate this in my head, as you're talking about it, something like a house or shared fund or something like that. Yeah, that's hands off. Yeah, so you don't get a lot of return on it. Well, it seems to me what you're saying is, you know, you could put the same amount of money in something, and if you're connected to it, even if it's a market stall, you're going to get a much bigger return because you're actually doing the work.
Well, no, not necessarily.
Is that a fair?
I think it's more a case of if you've got a business, it's supposedly a higher risk, but you've got more control on it. I mean, stocks and shares go down. You know, people don't always make money on stocks and shares, and in real terms, every year on property, people can be losing money, especially with the tax routine regime as it is, because if you borrowed money, you can't even claim interest rates back. So you're buying property as an investment is perhaps not the best way to go. And this is another thing, because if you're putting money out there as an investment, you want to make sure you look after that investment. You don't just want to give it to a banker or a stockbroker, or leave it in the hands of an estate agent to make sure that tenants look after the place properly. It's just that the difference between 5% return. I mean, who cares about 5% return? You know, if you've got millions out there, you can do a lot better. And I know in stock, I know people that they don't actually buy and sell stock, but they do deal in it. They do provide the funds, and they're offering something like 2% a month when the money's outstanding. So someone wants some stock for £10,000, they'll lend that money for that stock and want 2% a month. Now, 2% a month is on money coming back every month, and over a year it's 24%. So that's a lot better than buying a house. And then people say, well, I've got an investment for kids and stuff like that. But you know what? You can take on savings plans, and you can take on, what do you call them, when you die, life insurance. And that's a hell of a lot cheaper, and the kids will get a hell of a lot more. I'm just
I
saying.
must reconsider my investments.
You must. Your investment portfolio. I know we had a gentleman in the studio before, and he is a professional investor. By professional, I mean he invests money in the stock market as his main occupation. And over the year, he was actually, I know it's been a bad year because it's been COVID, but you know, he didn't lose money this year, just didn't gain anything. But the year before COVID broke out, he was still only making slightly more than minimum wage on it. So, you know, but buying and selling a bit of stock, coupling up with people that have stuff that they might need your expertise for, is a great way of expanding a business. And that's what brings me to the next one, because, you know, you and I are big fans of TikTok, aren't we?
Are we?
I thought you
send me them, right? And I go, no, stop it.
I don't send you the ones you like, do you?
I get sucked in, though.
I've never sucked you into anything.
Because I'm like, is this for work? I better check it. Yeah. And then I do, and I'm like, just sit there like a zombie going, look at this. So.
You know, the thing I like about these things is that they're quick, they're easy. I don't have to start focusing for hours trying to work out. Give me this big picture or something. I think this looks good, this. And what I did was I just found, how many are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And you did one as well. That was because you got into the running on that. And it's just ideas that companies and individuals from all over the world are putting together. And I looked at them, I thought, that is so good. So, you know, my thought process, if I was younger and I had more energy, I'd be looking at getting involved in some of these innovations, because coming out with the idea is one thing, getting the prototype going is another thing, but actually getting it out there to start with is the hardest thing in the world. But once you've got it out there, then maybe you could help. Maybe get it into the UK market. Maybe even you could get it onto your market stall. Wherever you are, you could look at these things that fit in with the general trend of the business. So just so that you don't have to keep listening to me and you get a reprieve from me for a few minutes, just do watch these things, and I can always try and help you contact these guys. And it's not saying you should contact Everything's Floor, it's just trying to get it in your head that there are loads of ideas from all over the world that you could get yourself aligned with your own ethics, aligned with your own business, aligned with the type of things that you enjoy doing. Just have a look. We finish yet?
Yeah, we're back.
Am I back? Do people know so have I said anything I shouldn't have said?
No, you're all right.
Because YouTube blocked me the other week, didn't they?
Yeah, YouTube.
I've got a couple of
You've always got a
problems
problem,
here.
Hayden.
Number
Go
one,
to the bathroom and
the
wipe yourself
water road.
properly. That's great, that.
What's great? We don't need it. We got roads. We got bridges.
Oh, there's loads
Why
of
do we
places.
need a bit of shonky plastic to get your feet wet on?
What's
it's
shonky?
Stupid.
What does shonky
No
mean?
one's ever needed a water road. We've got them. They're called bridges.
No, they're temporary things.
What do we need a timber
To cross over that place? There's loads of places.
When have you needed that in your life?
Have you ever been to Scotland?
Yes, and
there's
you know
loads
what
of
I found
places that
about
you've got to
being in
go
Scotland,
miles
Stephen?
round.
I've never once thought, if only I could drive on a bit of wobbly plastic out there. And he said plastic. That could be getting a bit racist. Other things.
How's
the
plastic
phone
racist?
recycling.
Yeah.
What's he recycling it to?
Let's just go back. These things have value. They're being used across the world.
Valueless.
Hayden has no imagination for how something could be used to make money.
That's right. Well, I'll tell you what. You go and invest. I'll tell you what. You invest in the water road.
Yeah.
And we'll see how many millions you get out of that.
I don't know.
I'll
But
tell you,
somebody,
nobody wants wet feet. Nobody wants wet feet.
You're
It's
getting very
stupid.
angry about this.
Because it annoys me, because they put this stuff up,
Yeah.
and people go, but no one starts to go, hang on, why do I need my blocks of foam turning into more blocks of foam?
you know, for next week, or with you, the week after,
Oh, I see.
give me a favor, contact those people.
Oh, yeah.
With the water
Go
road.
and have a chat
and
with
let's
Mr. Water
let's
Road.
just see what it's about.
Do you know what it'll be
Right.
about? It'll say how many containers you have, and when you say that, I'm just asking.
Right.
Let's just see what it's about.
I can have a look at the water floor, but
Yeah.
this dude
Road.
here,
This what?
this dude here
blue
doing,
wallpaper.
doing the blue wallpaper. That's just a green screen.
So
Blue screen.
Yeah, well, chroma, isn't
so
it?
you just have to remind me what was it?
So the fishes going across the wall.
Oh, that was so nice and relaxing.
It's not
Yeah.
real.
But it's
Yeah, but okay. But the point is that there's ideas out
No,
there
there's
that
no
can
idea.
become.
Stephen, that's blue wallpaper.
Yeah,
And then you got to have
And
a
you got
video
fishes
camera
going round, yeah.
And put well,
I'd have one.
we've got a blue cloth over there. Just
And I
use
keep
that.
saying, put fishes in the background, and you won't do it, will you? I don't
a spot
understand you.
there.
Well,
Got
I'm
no
gonna break your
innovation
heart
at
here,
all.
Stephen.
Go
It
on.
ain't going to happen with blue.
But there might be other things. That's the point. I know when
It's not new.
when Tony and I used to go to China looking for ideas with clients, and they found a fair few ideas that was just.
What, like water roads?
Well, there was also, you'd be surprised what comes
Turning
from
foam
it.
into
I
other
tell you
foam.
what we did find once. It's become a lot more mainstream here. But people, ladies or anyone really, they used to put the hand on this machine, the fingers, and the stamp came down and painted the fingernail.
Do you know that's nothing like the machine videos?
No,
I've
but there's
seen from
ideas. It's just an idea.
China. They have
And,
escalators that eat people. They're handy.
you know, I was coming on to my next subject because obviously you're a waste of space.
Just a
honestly.
second
Oh,
though.
go on.
Right.
Mark's jumped in, said that you could drive across the channel with one of them.
There you go.
So there you go, Aidan.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Hang on.
There you go.
I'm going to guess that if you tried to put one of those across the English Channel, the net result would be drowning. That's not what happened.
Yeah.
You would drown in your car.
You know Heaton Park
Drive
Lake?
across the channel. There's a tunnel for that.
You could put one there and have a picnic on the island in Heaton Park Lake. You could walk across the lake and have a
Why
picnic
on
there.
earth would I want to do that?
But some people do.
Yeah,
I mean,
the sort of people put the sofa outside the front door
look,
in the summer.
I
want no
know,
party.
I know that there are times when you've gone out very late at night to car parks when there's been people hanging around the motor
I've never
vehicles.
needed a water road.
No, that's
all
also
I've
true.
needed is
But
my duct
everyone's-
tape and a stout length of wood.
Everyone's got their own. But as it happens, just let me skip the next one because what I'll come back to it because what I was going to say, I was going to make a point that what sort of characteristics do you think are sort of useful in business? Because they used to say that sex sells, but it never did for me. So I came away with that one. But comedy, I always like the idea that comedy brings some things in. But I think whatever you do, you've got to have that presence to carry it off, don't you? So I think you have quite a strong presence, a powerful presence, Hayden, and you can carry things off.
You didn't have to add Hayden. I wasn't assuming you were talking
No,
about
but I was going to
Graham.
come to Graham because there's a special place for him. But, you know, so I want you to just let the cameras see. Do you think this man has great presence?
Oh, the telly's going off. Hang on.
Do you think this man has great presence? And would you buy anything off him or be involved in any commercial venture with him? Now let's look at Graham. Graham, would you take this man as having a strong presence? Or will you just want to see him open his mouth a bit wider? And that's what I was going to say. Now, with comedy, I was
Because I've got a beautiful smile.
No.
That wasn't what I was thinking, but I won't deny that. No,
There you go.
I
There's
think
your
you
wider
need-
mouth.
Yeah, I've lost for thought now. But, you know, comedy in business, I think it's quite it keeps the blood pressure down, and if you can keep everything light and have a look to make people feel better rather than pulling everything down all the time, and I think when you do have some sort of comedy training or you looked as if you can be funny, or I don't mean I'm funny by making jokes all the time, but generally keeping things nice and calm and putting a different slant to everything, and it teaches you to be able to communicate better. And I think communication is absolutely vital in business. I mean, it's like that Jesus type water thing that Hayden doesn't like. He didn't communicate it properly of the advantages of that water type thing. So I'm going to say, because I did a little bit of a course with a comedy team in Manchester. And I just enjoyed the whole process. It was a nice Saturday afternoon. And it might be worth go and have a look yourself and bring some humour into your life. So I think the contact details, they don't know I'm plugging them, so they'll probably get, I saw Stephen's show and he said I should come and speak to you, and they'll say, who's Stephen? Best probably not to mention my name. Just say, you heard of them.
Don't tell them that I sent you.
No. Well, won't make you look good, and they might phone me and thank me. And
it'll sour things.
I've done my days of training with them. I don't need them queuing up outside for a bowl of milk. But info@comedysports.co.uk. I had a lovely time there. The people are very nice, so I thought I'd plug that. But so
I think the thing is with this though is it's not necessarily that you're going to become a comedian, because
look at me.
If you try and do these things sometimes in a business meeting scenario or whatever, it can fall really, really flat and just be awkward and horrible. But things like this that's on the screen right now, events, training, workshops, can bring you out. So if you've been through that, then when you're in another scenario,
I just think it's important to have some sort of get over that inability to speak, especially if you're presenting, and it comes up great in day to day, and it does keep yourself from getting too uptight. I do believe as well is that Ed, who used to be our PR guy, who's gone into his own business, I think Ed's hosting some shows, Project Charisma, isn't it, where he's training people on public speaking and that type of thing. If you want to have a go, I think any self-improvement skills have got to be good for you. Obviously, Hayden, you couldn't improve on anything that you do or are capable of doing.
I don't think Project Charisma would be helpful to me. I fairly.
No, you're up there.
I'm okay with where I am.
Whenever you're looking for someone charismatic, you're at the top. We don't even aim to be like you. We just aim to be as far away from where Graham is as we possibly can.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Couldn't see that coming.
Of course not. Laser Weed Destroyer. Have you done that one?
You might want to do a bit of comedy training, So
it didn't work.
Punchlines aren't so gloriously signposted.
I go for my audience. What have you put here? You put here, Graham, Twitter, unnecessary inventions.
Well, I was going to say, you were talking about sort of like, getting stuff out there and the videos and stuff like that. I was just going to say, have you seen this guy, Unnecessary Inventions? He does TikToks, and I followed him on Twitter.
Oh, it's worth watching.
And he does things like, he's got a plastic hand like that, and there's a spike in it to put a knob of butter.
Yeah.
And then you use it to, if you've got corn on the cob.
Where's this going?
No, you've got corn on the cob.
You said corn.
Yeah, no,
right. Yeah.
What do you do with the corn, Graham?
What do you do?
You get your corn and it butters it like that. And he went viral. He went viral with this, and it's a plastic hand. So you're holding.
I've seen a few videos go viral with stuff like that.
So you're holding the plastic hand like that, and you're going like that, and you just.
Dude, it's got so many uses, hasn't it? Like if you want to milk a cow. Or they've got so many uses.
The thing is, though, how many bits of Chinese-made plastic has that man sold? Because he did a corn butterer in the shape of a hand like that.
But this is what I'm saying. Everything out there is. I mean, do we need a fraction of the stuff we actually buy or is on for sale out there? So much rubbish out there. So much only gimmicky ideas but people make fortunes on them. You only have to have a few people interested, and you can make a lot of money out of this stuff. So I just think it's important to keep your eyes out, keep looking for stuff. And that Laser Weed Destroyer, did you show that as a video?
Oh, well, I just put that in there because that's the glory of capitalism, Stephen.
I didn't see it. What is it?
It's this new thing, right? So they've got it on farms. There's quite big in South America at the moment, and you go through the tracks like you normally would when you're doing a farm, and there's a camera, and the AI can detect plants.
Wow.
And it detect just like you can get apps, can't you, that tell you what flowers.
Can I just ask something?
What?
When you're doing a farm.
Yeah, when you're doing a farm, yeah. You know, when you're making the growings.
When you're having a right good farmer.
Okay, so this is a little bit of technology.
And it's got lasers on it.
That's got lasers on it that can help in the farming industry.
Well, no, when you're doing a farm.
When you're doing a farm.
Yeah, but it can detect, like...
You need to finish that when you're doing a farm animal.
Yeah.
But you forgot which show you're on, didn't you?
No, well, this is the thing, though. It detects the weeds and it laser beams them.
There's lots of stuff. This is everything I'm saying. We could have one of our new events coming up on technology and what's out there. You don't need to be a scientist. You don't need to be a genius. You just need to, hey, I could sell that one tiny little piece out of all that. That's all you need to do to make money.
Do you think I could be a beauty queen?
Sorry, go on. Tell me.
Do you think I could be a beauty queen?
You are to me. I've got a picture of you on my bathroom wall. That's exactly how I see you. Go on, have you got a point to that?
No, there was no point to that, no.
Apart from miserable failure.
I'm a miserable failure.
Oh, is that where it's going? Sorry. So should we talk about inheritance tax?
Oh,
yeah, let's move on.
Let's do that.
We like inheritance tax, don't we?
You don't want to talk about
Just call Graham a beauty queen.
Graham, you're a beauty queen.
See, can I just have the mic up? That's why you'd be lost without me.
I can't do that every time.
Don't worry about it, it's fine.
Maybe just don't do it again, ever. Anyway, inheritance tax. It's a beloved and well thought of and well thought out part of the tax system. Everybody loves it, and we're gonna show you how to pay more of it. In fact, we can show you how to not pay inheritance tax at all, and that's maybe don't die. The thing is, it is a hated tax, and it is a terrible tax, and it takes 40% of your wealth away before anybody gets anything. But the reality of it is that not that many people, actually normal, everyday people, pay that much, if any, inheritance tax, because you have a £325,000 allowance before you actually have to start paying tax, and then you have a further 175,000 specifically against any property. So you've got up to £500,000 per parent that you can offset against allowances. So between both parents, you've got £1 million worth of allowances. So it's something to parents, grandparents. So it's not as bad as you think. You're allowed to give gifts of £3,000 to various different people. I think the key to this is, I'll just get this in because these two are having heart attacks here, tittering away because I mentioned the word tax. The key is in planning. So if you make sure everything's planned, everything is in the right place, then probate goes through a lot quicker, and you don't pay anything like as much tax. You can look at things like trusts. And you know, the 7-year rule is also good. What that basically means is that you can give money away to key people, and as long as you live for 7 years, you don't it doesn't come in as part of your estate. So bear that in mind. There's also things with companies where the treatment of shares are treated a little bit differently. So if you do want to discuss a bit of inheritance tax planning, I can give you the sort of the basics and the areas that we should be looking at, and I can introduce you to some specialist financial advisors who will take it to the next step. Remember, pensions are also something that people should be looking at. With all this, so the looks I'm getting now is that I'm boring everybody, but you know, don't forget, inheritance tax is a biggie, and we don't want to pay inheritance tax. It's not a nice feeling, and not only that we want to make sure that if anything does happen to any of us, we want to make sure that our assets and monies go to the people we actually want them to go to. So you know, you got wills and you got trusts. Sorry, Graham.
We've got a question here.
Okay, fine.
I'd like your reaction if that's okay. Cup of Tea has said that 85% of retail spending is to women. So do you only sell to genuine females to maximise profits?
I am so confused.
Sorry.
I think if you want to save money...
It's not a question.
Oh, it's a statement.
It's a statement.
It's a statement. Yeah, but I thought you disagree or agree with it, no?
What, that 85% of women do the shopping?
Yeah.
I didn't realise it was that low.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't make any of those decisions. I've been banned from all that now.
I don't make any decisions at all, ever. You know, cup of tea, thank you.
I don't do the shopping, so when I do, I just sit in the car park crying gently to myself for half an hour or so.
Yeah. Rocking backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
I know the feeling. Yeah. Hey, Graham, here's one right out of your... This is you, isn't it? This is what you aspire to.
Go on.
Bellboy gets tip so big he'll never have to work again. That was amazing, wasn't it?
Yes. And actually, that's the sort of headline for it, but the deeper story is a lot more wonderful. So there's a British guy who always went on holiday to the same place.
Yeah.
And member of staff there always looked after him, gave him the same room every time.
Yeah.
And he actually helped pay for the fella's education.
That's wonderful.
And then, the fella's kids' education. So he put his kids through school, the bellboy.
Yeah.
And then when he died, he left him a
Just shows you how
phenomenal son.
important customer service is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder what services he was given.
He hasn't disclosed how much.
It was a lot of money, so he doesn't need to work anymore.
Yeah, enough to never have to work again.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Just for a bit. Do you know, is that why you're wearing short trousers again? Because you want to be a bellboy?
It's not that kind of bell.
Just trying to actually get paid.
I've got one here. You've got 16 psyche could be worth about 10. Oh, we were talking about this. This is the asteroids, isn't it?
Yes.
Interestingly, the Americans and various agencies across the world have sort of like started changing the rules of the game with outer space, because traditionally outer space is anybody's and everybody's, belongs to mankind. But they've been putting rights on certain asteroids that have been flying close to Earth and certain regions of space and certain ways of filing a claim. And it's recently come up as well that these asteroids like Psyche could be worth about $10 quadrillion. How much is that in pound sterling and pence?
It's more than we've got on Earth.
It's more than we've ever had on Earth, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more than anything.
So who's going to buy it then?
Well, I think it's mining rights, isn't it? I think it's
just being awkward.
I know. I love you for
And
it.
this is what they say. They say, "Oh, you can't just expand indefinitely.
No,
You bloody can't."
but now you can into space. So do you think that maybe there's more going on, because they're now changes these rules about you can actually make a claim and mine asteroids, so it goes to the people that are making the claim, and then America taxes them, and
I don't know. I think if China gets there first,
China
they're
as
just
well.
gonna take it, aren't they?
Not sure. Not sure.
What are you going to do?
You've got to sell it to someone, though. If
true.
Yeah, but
if
you
you've
just
mined in one hit, more material than there is money on Earth to pay for it.
You just store it. You become a De Beers and hide all the diamonds.
You become the world's most powerful nation.
There we go. Won't be Britain, will it?
We're not mining any asteroids now. Not for me, mate. No.
Our colony days are over.
Would you do that? Would you go to an asteroid?
Would I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to go to space.
It'd be fun, though, wouldn't it? Yeah. But do you think this is why Elon and what's the other tosser? I mean, what the other rich guy?
Richard Branson as well.
Branson. Is that why they're going into outer space? Do you think at $450,000 a ticket?
Yeah.
Maybe there's more going on. Maybe they've got bigger things in the reach that we don't know.
$450,000 just to fly a bit higher than aeroplanes.
But if you can stake a claim on an asteroid that's worth trillions and trillions,
they're never going to get. No, those shuttles aren't going to asteroids.
Yeah, but you don't know what they're seeing.
You've got to get to the asteroid.
Maybe there's some little green men out there that are going to give them some franchise rights to mining.
I would love it if they landed on one of these asteroids and everyone was eaten. That, to me, would be good.
What, like the college?
Just monsters there waiting for them. And when they land, they get eaten by asteroid monsters. If you can talk about quadrillions, I can talk about asteroid monsters.
Right.
Neither things exist.
Sunday is the start of the autumn fair in Birmingham at the NEC. It's got miles and miles of people representing and manufacturing goods from all over the country, all over Europe, or companies from China coming down, India, everywhere. It's worthwhile going. So that's the NEC in Birmingham. It starts Sunday and it goes on, I think it's till Thursday. So it is worthwhile going if you deal in stock. There's plenty of ideas going on around the place. There's services that they give to all sorts of businesses as well. So you've got shop fitting, you've got all sorts of things. Do you know I got kicked out of the NEC once?
Why?
Seriously.
Oh, sorry, you were talking to Hayden specifically then.
Graham,
right? Yeah.
sorry, I forgot.
Sorry for butting in.
Graham.
Go on.
I got kicked out of there once.
He's so highly strung, isn't he?
What can you do?
So fragile.
Well, there's so little in your life, you've got to grab onto what you've got.
So fragile.
Okay, no.
Why did you get kicked out?
It's not all about you.
Me, Tony and Stuart, we were walking round and we were giving leaflets out.
What for?
For accountancy, for Accounts Direct. And the security didn't like it, so they asked us to stop. And then the second time they asked us to leave. And then we got kicked out the car park as well for doing the same thing.
Did you get any clients out of it?
We did. It works, always works. Leafleting, talking to people actually worked.
I was once banned from a kebab shop.
What were you doing to do that?
I'm not saying.
Do you know another thing that should be on the tick list? We were talking before, weren't we, Graham? You got a tick list for like your Facebook site, a tick list for your LinkedIn site, another tick list for your website, and these are things that should be all set up. All businesses should have them. Using them is another thing we can talk about, but you should at least have them there. And another thing that you should have is tick crowdfunding site, because people are getting money from it. They are, aren't they? Didn't you crowdfund something?
Yeah, we did a GoFundMe for the gear once, and we've done a few bits and bobs here and there.
Had a few quid,
I'm following a guy at the moment who's I've actually backed it. It's the first Kickstarter I've ever backed.
Right.
He's doing a video game that's coming out in 1 year from now.
Yeah.
He already has 5 years worth of funding that he's saved himself. But he's doing the Kickstarter with all these goals for things he's going to implement them, whether he raises the money or not. But he's turned it into this exciting thing now where we're all hoping he gets backed and hoping people get involved. And it's really, really clever way of building a community.
I think it's great.
It's wonderful.
You put your adverts up, you focus your business, and people give you money.
Well, yeah, but you've got to give them something, though.
Well, you know, I know this guy, and I hope he's watching because I've told him. And he made these pen holders out of blocks of metal. Do you remember? You know who I'm talking about. And they were shit. The idea, the stuff, everything was just... But he raised a fair amount of money. And I said to him, credit to you. You know, because you would never have sold that at the shops. But he raised the money for it. So it's either people like the look of it, and I don't know what I'm talking about, which, you know, there's possibilities there, or you just got lucky. But, you know, if you don't have your site set up, you don't know. So what have we got? We've got Cube.
What?
The different
Cube.
Cube funder, crowdfunder. We've got Cube funder. We've got Kickstarter. And we've got that purple one.
GoFundMe.
You
got, please give me some money because I'm too lazy to go and get a job.
Yeah.
.com.
Yeah.
That's known as Ko-fi.
Yeah.
Send me a Ko-fi.
Buy me a coffee.
No, what's the purple one called?
Indiegogo.
Indiegogo. And
that's the best one.
I actually like saying that.
Indiegogo.
Yeah.
Indiegogo.
Brings you back to your hot pant days, doesn't it?
No, voiceovers. Indiegogo.
So we're coming up to well over the half an hour limit we've got, but as we're going to get edited, so I've still got 2 or 3 pages of things to talk about, but we can use these on next week's show, can't we, Graham?
Yep.
And unless there's anything you want to talk about?
I quite like the idea of the movie scene one.
Just remind me, what's the movie scene one?
The Ben Affleck accountant, but that's...
Oh, yeah, okay.
Let's just do that.
Okay, let's do that. What, where were we? I forgot what
I just like the fact...
Oh, emotional intelligence, wasn't it?
Oh, God, no, that's something else entirely.
Yeah, but that's how we got onto it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because accountants are apparently on the spectrum.
Yeah, you excel... Apparently, according to some research, you excel as an accountant if you lack emotional intelligence.
Which is why I went to do a comedy course, but... You know. Yeah, but then we got to the film with the accountant being...
Yeah, there was that movie, wasn't there? And he was supposed to be like on
shooting everybody and killing them. And
I only put it on the notes because you were like, well, that was tame compared to my life as an accountant.
I never said that.
The exciting world of accountants.
He did. He was like...
We charter the 7 seas.
There was only 5 deaths in that movie. What are you on about? It's nothing.
It didn't add up.
That's a weekend for you.
Oh, I'm going.
He's dangerous, Aidan. I keep telling you.
So we were going to look at. I tell you what we're going to look at for, so you can look forward to next week. We're going to look at a little bit more about emotional intelligence. Everything's running out. Drivers are running out. Everyone's running out. Is it because people are lazy bums and don't want to work, or there's a bigger picture going on here? Rising wages. Amazon hiring 55,000 new people worldwide. Google is cutting pay for employees who work from home. $5 billion housing investment has been launched by the government and grants. And Lloyds Bank are getting to the property business. Well, I'm just going through it quickly because you told me to hurry up. Current affairs, which is
week.
Yeah, I just want to know though, just before we go, on Current Affairs, which is what, a socialist magazine.
Yeah.
Why would you think I'd know what that was?
Well, I don't know. These businesses.
Freedom Network with HMRC. We'll look at that one. That's a biggie for next week. We've done the Virgin Space tickets.
Yeah, let's just do immigration again because that always goes well with Google. They love it.
Oh, they'll ban us again. Would you like to do the quote of the day?
Yeah, go on. Go on then.
Well, you were gonna.
Speed is only useful if you're running in the right direction.
Love it.
And that's Joel Barker from
That
Future
is so
Edge.
true. That is, yeah. Love it. Love it. Well, on that exciting, bleeding obvious note, I think Graham started talking about a different type of speed. I do think that if we know where we're going, we'll get there. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you next week. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.